Welcome back to the VET S.O.S podcast. Remember, don't drown the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S lifeline. VET S.O.S is brought to you by the Who You Know Network, and we are proud members of the Parade Deck community. We can now be heard on Reach Across America Radio on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. You can find Reach Across America Radio on the iHeart Radio, Odyssey, and TuneIn apps. We're sitting down today with Tammy Martin from Wounded Veteran Relief Fund today. This is a great organization with a great mission. Can't wait to get into this discussion. That there's going to be some visible proof that it's really going to open your eyes to what they can do and what an amazing change they can have on people. Back in action today, Keith. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing, Shawn. Not quite as tumultuous of a week as you seem to be having with your internet outages, but I've been having some lag issues today. So hopefully we're all good. But no, it's great to be here. Appreciate you as always, Shawn.
Yeah, Murphy set up a tent in my yard this week, so it's he's just been hanging out, coming to dinner, and everything else. So it's been been quite the week. So let's jump right into it. With over 35 years of experience in dentistry, Tammy is dedicated to her career to improving oral health and access to dental care. Her role is the Senior Dental Program Manager with Wounded Veterans Relief Fund, a Florida-based nonprofit organization that provides critical dental assistance to veterans with a service-connected disability rating of 30 to 90% or a pending claim. Through Tammy's role, she helps veterans receive essential dental treatments, improving their quality of life and overall health. It is a pleasure to have you with us today, Tammy. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Shawn and Mike. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
He's getting new names. I love it.
It's all good. Michael's my middle name. We can run with it.
There you go. That's what Shawn told me.
Yep.
There we
exactly.
go. Yep.
See? Don't worry about it. Keith got fired during one of our shows when we did it live. Someone fired him on the spot.
Right? Back at the Mick. Yep.
All right. So before we jump into the program and what you're doing, please tell us how did this desire to work with veterans and help veterans come about? How did you get to the point where you're working with veterans?
Thank you so much. So I've been in and out of the dental field for 35 years, and veterans have always been passion of mine. I was able to actually start volunteering with wounded veterans, and then I became an ambassador with them. A position opened up, and they're like, "Would you like to come on board?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And actually, I was honestly going to take early retirement, and I couldn't pass up. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I get to work with veterans full-time with dentistry. It's my passion. I can help change lives." So that's how it was born for me to become on the team of the Wounded Veterans Relief Fund. So when I first started with them, we were like in our second year, and we had about 18 dental partners. We now have 191 dental partners throughout the state, all the way from Pensacola down to the Keys. Nice. And we're still growing rapidly.
That is amazing. And so real quick then, you alluded to it a little bit when we were talking before the show, and where's this love of veterans come from? Tell us a little bit about the family there.
Thank you. So I did not serve, but I'm serving now in a different capacity. My father was actually Korean War. My brother is a Marine veteran. My son-in-law is an Army veteran. My great-grandfather is prisoner of World War II for 18 months. And then my uncle was Navy. So I've just always been in the family of service members, and just the passion and the love for the service that they've done.
That is awesome. And we definitely want to thank your family for their sacrifice to our country. And I can only imagine the prisoner of war piece that your grandfather went through. That's just we've all seen and heard stories, so I can only imagine. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your program here. What is this Wounded Veteran Relief Fund?
Okay, so Wounded Veterans Relief Fund actually started. It's a state of Florida nonprofit. It started in 2009 down in West Palm Beach. At that time, they started with a financial program. Anything to prevent homelessness, catch them up on mortgage payments, car payments, past due utility bills, 30 days of daycare. So anything that was back due that we could help catch them up and get them back on track. 3 years ago, they started with like a little pilot program because of the need for dental. As you probably know, 100% a veteran has to be in order to get dental through the VA. So actually 85% of veterans do not have dental eligibility at the VA. Only 15% do. And it's a very small percentage of those that actually take advantage of that. So we started with the pilot program and it just took off. And it just started growing and growing. We have all dentists. We have general. We have a periodontist. We have oral surgeons. We have endodontists. We have implant companies that actually provide free implants for us. So we partner with these dentists and they accept our fee schedule. I've dropped the fee schedule to about 60 to 70% less than their office fees, and they adopt our fee schedule. We also partner with labs. So if they use one of the labs we're partnered with, they can get a discount off what they send to a lab, like dentures, partial, crowns, bridges. But we're just growing. I was looking at the numbers because it just changes daily. So year to date, we've been able to assist veterans with a little over $823,029.
Wow.
That's my fee schedule, right? Wounded veterans undiscounted fee schedule would have been $1,873,567.
Wow.
So, and we just keep growing rapidly. You know, we do the whole state, right? So, yeah, actually,
That's amazing. And I'll be the first to admit that I'm one of those people that hates going to the dentist. Like we start talking dentistry, my teeth hurt, and I don't even have bad teeth. And so right now, like the whole episode, my teeth are going to be bothering me, and it has nothing to do with like bad teeth or anything. It's just it's one of those things.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that'd be the biggest problem, Keith, with veterans not wanting to go. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I can totally relate. I've had 13 oral surgeries in my lifetime. So, but coincidentally, I have a dental cleaning with the VA next week. So, but yeah, so I qualify for the free stuff. But I actually, even to your point, Tammy, that the difficulty of getting dental coverage is if you don't have that 100% mark is because when I was doing my claims long before I got my final percentage, I claimed dental stuff because I had 13 oral surgeries and there was, to me, in my eyes, it was, I had some injuries to my mouth, if you will, before I joined the Army. But then while I was in, the dentist actually missed some things. And I ended up having bone loss because they missed an infection that had formed in the caps. So I ended up having bone loss, needing bone grafts, needing implants. And to me, that was partly tied to the military because they missed the infection and it grew for 3 years before they finally caught it. And so I'm like, boom, I'm going to get some dental. They denied me, and that's what my VSO told me. They're like, no, like even if you had like trauma to the mouth or anything, 9 times out of 10 they're going to deny you for dental. He's like, it is so incredibly hard to get dental coverage if you don't have that 100%, even if you've had something wrong with your mouth. So yeah, what you're doing, I love it. It's absolutely amazing. And so I guess my question is this a state like run, like the actual state government runs this program? Or, okay, so it's just within Florida. I mean, is there any talk about expanding? Because this is an amazing program. Is there talk of expansion over the borders into the South, the SEC region?
Yeah. Well, and funny you asked, we just had some dentists from some other states just reach out and say, hey, do you have the program here? That is our goal. But right now, only 3 years in, we just want to make sure that, we're on that solid foundation. We're building slowly. And then our goal, yes, would be to take it to other states. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And in 3 years, $800,000 plus. Like that is just absolutely amazing. So for our Floridians that are listening, what's the qualifications? Like, how does a Florida veteran go about, applying and getting this assistance that you guys are providing?
Yep. So a veteran for our eligibility is a Florida resident. They're 30 to 90% service connected in a DD 214 or a pending claim.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yep.
And then once they do that, how's the process work? So they're applying thinking they have something wrong dental, or they may have something wrong dental. How does that process work once they apply to you?
So all the social workers in the state of Florida at all the VAs pretty much know how to refer to us. They need to go through their social worker. Their social worker is actually vetting them for us.
Okay.
But we also want their social worker to know what's going on, right? Like what other help do they need maybe? And maybe at that time they'll address that issue. We get that a lot. And it helps us with our financial side. Sometimes they need both. And they didn't know what was offered, but the social workers will mention it. Hey, well, they do have a financial side too. They can apply for both programs. So the social worker is the one that will vet them, send us their information, and then we send them the application. Once they're completed with the application, they do it all online. We get the application back. We review it as a team. We then place the veteran to the closest dental partner to their location.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And I'm just kind of curious going back, because you said something and I don't know, it didn't quite click in my brain. So just again, Kate, just for our listeners, you said a pending claim will also qualify from the program. So let's just say I'm a brand new veteran who, just got out, my claims are in, I haven't gotten any percentage yet. I can be considered in the program, but then if my claims do come back and let's say I only get 20%, am I at that point still in the program, or just how does that work if we don't quite meet the mark down the road?
Yeah. Yes. Once they're in, they're in. If it comes back 2 months later, but we're going to be getting them in as soon as they finish that application and we have that pending claim, they're in the program.
Gotcha.
So we'll keep proceeding. Absolutely.
That's beautiful. So everybody listening, at least all my Floridians, until this expands, if you're transitioning service member, sign up even before you get that claim back, because that way you're in. Like that's amazing. So I guess I have next two questions. So like, I think you mentioned earlier, critical dental assistance. Like what is critical dental assistance? Like what is that in essence, and how does a veteran apply for that?
So the critical dental assistance, again, is they're going to go through their social worker or a VSO.
Oh, that is that. Okay.
Yep. They can use both to refer them in. And we just ask them their eligibility status, their name, and just a little bit of more personal information is what they submit to us.
And then along those lines, you provided us some pictures of before and after of the services that you do. So we're going to bring that up right now so people can see the great work that your organization's doing. Just an amazing transformation.
Yeah.
Totally has changed his life. As you look at that, right? Like a lot of times the veterans will tell us they don't feel that they're employable. They have so many infections in their mouth that it's starting to affect their overall health. Two reasons why usually, honestly, veterans will not go to the dentist, as we know, it's going to be financial or that fear. So we get them through those hurdles so that they can get their teeth fixed. I can't tell you how many of our veterans have open heart surgery due to endocarditis, which is caused from the bacteria in their mouth. So
really?
the VA will treat the heart surgery, but they won't treat the source. Right?
Wow.
So they put them through the heart surgery, but the infections are still in their mouth. So then I've known some veterans that have had multiple heart surgeries that have come to us. But once you get in there, clean out all the infections, and most of those honestly are full mouth extractions with dentures. But they're blessed. They're happy. They're like, it totally changes their life.
Yeah.
I think that picture alone, it's just an amazing transformation, the before and after. I can only imagine, the confidence levels got to go up. All in all, believing that, hey, anything's possible now.
Yeah. And you can be happy. You can literally show happiness, right? Like, I mean, maybe not everybody, but I would think I know for me, I'll just speak for me. Like if I was having issues like that, and I've kind of had issues like that, I've had those dental, like my top four front teeth are all implants. And for of course, about 6 months, there were no top front four teeth. Like I had some some dentures I could put in and out, but like, yeah, if they got messed, like I was super paranoid about that. Right. And I was afraid to smile. I was afraid to laugh. And so that was literally affecting my happiness. And you see, you're literally giving these people their happiness back to some in a way, and then jobs, right? Because yeah, I mean, let's face
They're
it,
employable.
yeah,
And
whether you want to be materialistic or whatever you want to call it, is much, but somebody comes in, and again, even if you're not going to necessarily judge them on their teeth, just again, they may not be projecting like joy or happiness because they're
correct.
holding back because they're paranoid about how they look. My
Correct.
goodness. Yeah, there's so many second and third order of effects of this thing.
Right. And think of someone that might have some mental illness, right? They isolate more, right? They're not going to go out to dinner and have with their family to have socials. They're not going to have relationships. So it puts them more into that rabbit hole, right? We get a lot of calls like that. Like veterans are told a lot of times that people can do something for them and then it doesn't fall through. So we get a lot of them, right? When we put them in the dental program, they're like, no, this can't be true. I'm not getting my teeth fixed. Yes, you're getting your teeth fixed. But it does. It just in their overall health, like I said, I'm working with a veteran now. Actually, he had throat cancer, Vietnam veteran, had so much chemo and radiation to his jaw.
Yeah.
The VA wouldn't sign off to release him to have the teeth removed. If you get a lot of radiation to your jaw, the bone, it can deteriorate. So the dental office wanted to make sure that it was okay to have someone sign off. I've been jumping through hoops with this guy. The actual doctor that did his surgery in Colorado, his chemo and radiation, signed off. It's in the mail.
Wow.
So you just have to jump through hoops sometimes. I actually had out of Lee County give me a call. She said, I don't even know how I got your number. She was an oncology nurse. They had a veteran that was stage 3 lung cancer. And for 3 months, the VA, even though he was not 100% service connected, he was 50%, but they bumped him up to 100% temporary.
Temporarily, yep.
Temporary mean nobody can still tell me what temporary means. So the dental office wouldn't remove the infected teeth so they could start his treatment for his lung cancer. And she said, I don't even know how I got your number. I don't know what to do. And I was like, and I was pulling into James Haley at the time to go to the women's clinic, do a resource fair. I said, give me 5 minutes and I'm going to send you something. So dental benefits for Veterans Administration, I sent it to her and I said, read number 6. Do me a favor. Once you receive it, print it out and you go to every chief of staff you can find and you advocate for this veteran. And it says, are receiving VA care or scheduled for inpatient care. Refer over to the dental unit. Yes, he's entitled to get the dental work.
Really? Wow.
She goes, I've been trying for 3 months. And you're the one that's telling me why here at the VA. Doesn't anybody know that? And I'm like, I don't know, push forward. She called me back about 2 days later and she said, Tammy, I can't believe it. He's getting his teeth removed and we're going to be starting treatment. That's just one. Like I go into Bay Pines a lot for veterans that are 100% and they tell them they're not eligible. And I go in and I explain, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Copy of their paperwork. Well, we don't see it in our system. Well, then you need to fix your system. They're entitled. And it's helping them navigate. And I had another one that was supposed to be having a mastectomy. And the same thing, a tooth, golf ball under her jaw, huge infection. She went to the dental unit because she was put on that temporary, and they said, no, we can't do anything. She went outside, found out it was going to be $600. She reached out to me and said, can you help me? Yes, we could. I'm going to help her in that situation. I said, but I need you to do me a favor. Can I go with you to your appointment? When is your next one? My oncology appointment is actually tomorrow. I said, can I go? Please. Went in, oncologist was doing her pre-op. I then turned her head to the side and I said, look at this. And he goes, what is that? He said, we can't do surgery. And I'm like, I need you to write the referral to the dental because she's being denied. And he wrote it, pushed it over. We get over there. They wouldn't set it up. And I was like, who's your social worker? Pulled up her social worker, had her in my phone, called the social worker. She said, just a moment. She went and got somebody higher up. He got on the phone and he goes, I'm sending it now and check in 5 minutes. We walked up to the counter and they go, okay, can you come in tomorrow? But they need advocates.
We are blessed to have you as an advocate for us.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It truly is my pleasure, especially when we can jump through those hoops and get it done.
Yeah.
But if you're going to put them in, after their surgery, the ones that for endocarditis, the heart surgeries, they refer them out to community dental to remove all their teeth, like all of them. After the surgery, the veteran will go back to the VA and said, I'm here for my dentures. Sorry, you're only 50% service connected. We don't cover that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm working on changing that. I will get that changed.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't doubt you.
Yeah. Yeah, but you have some veterans here that honestly have been with no teeth for over 2-3 years.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Jeez, oh man.
So
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I met you through an ambassador, and you talked about the ambassador, how you started as an ambassador earlier. So can you tell us a little bit about this ambassador program?
Sure. So an ambassador with our program is pretty much going out into the community, events, socializing, trying to meet peers, obviously trying to find some great sponsors for us, grant opportunities for us, but do a lot of speaking events. The one I have here with me locally, I'm in Tampa Bay, is a Navy veteran, retired, officer with the MOA Foundation, and he's just phenomenal. He just has the connections and the passion to go out there and just to make that difference, make more awareness. So that's their pretty much
awesome
goal. Yeah.
Wow.
Always use more ambassadors, Keith.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And for other folks that are touched by this and wanting to support, maybe if they don't have that time to volunteer or be an ambassador, are there any other ways that they can support the program or the foundation?
Absolutely. Donations are always very generous, and we do appreciate that. We have obviously our grants. Also, what I've started doing is speaking with businesses. On an average with our fee schedule, it's about $5,000 per veteran. So I'm kind of like asking businesses now, would they like to adopt a veteran?
That's awesome.
So that's another way if an office would like to, pitch in and help.
Yeah.
We're very lucky. DeSantis did sign the grant that Danny Burgess presented. It's $1 million grant for any nonprofit that is already working in the veteran community and helping with critical dental needs. We're still waiting. Hopefully it will be around November that we can start applying for some more grant money from the state. So, but other than that, it's all through grants. We do a lot of fundraisers. We do our biggest one, couple biggest ones. It's a shark dive down in Jupiter, where actually the veterans go, disabled veterans go and swim with the sharks. They're not in cages. Our Bonita fishing tournament is down in South Florida. And then, of course, our big gala that we're having November, the first Saturday in November down in West Palm. It's about 400 to 500 people that attend. So that's one of our biggest fundraisers. So if anybody would like to do a fundraising event or just go online and contribute to make that donation, That'd be amazing.
And I'll just say for all of our listeners, anybody listening, you know, some folks I know they listen to the audio only on this thing. If you are, go back and watch the video of this and see that photo that we put up of that one transformation. If that doesn't speak to you on what Tammy and this organization is doing, then you're heartless. I'm sorry to say it. Like, that's right. And just think about the mouth pain. Like, that's like, I would rather lose an arm than go through those oral surgeries that I was going through back in the day. Like, I mean, mouth pain is like the worst type of pain. Like, and just think about that and supporting this organization, it's going to have a direct impact on, again, the second, third order of effects, like their livelihood, their happiness, just so much. I really hope people listen and they at least go consider checking you guys out and supporting, because this is amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it's life-changing every day. We all get to hear those stories on the phone every day, you know, especially the pain and infections. That, as we know, it leads to their overall health. They'll never get their diabetes under control, but the VA will cut their fingers and toes off because the source is coming from their mouth.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the heart disease, early onsets of dementia now. So I did have a veteran that had a lot of mercury, silver fillings in his mouth, started to developing some really weird feelings of his body. Like, you know, your body.
Yeah.
He kept going to the VA and they were trying to give him medication. And he's like, I don't want any drugs. He said, there's something going on in my body. Find it. I sent him to a holistic. He's almost done. So I can't wait to get his story out there. Sent him to a holistic dentist.
Wow.
All those symptoms and everything he was feeling are almost gone.
That's
because
awesome.
all that mercury has been removed. He's had the mercury in his mouth since he was like 12.
So before we close out, you did talk about the reach that you had from Pensacola to the Keys. Are there areas where you need more dentists?
Yes, pretty much more from like Ocala heading north up into like the Pensacola, Jacksonville area. And throughout the whole state, I really need more specialists like oral surgeons, endodontist, periodontist, a prosthodontist, pretty much the whole state for that. We're pretty set here from Tampa Bay up to Ocala, Tampa Bay down south, east, west coast. Again, maybe more so in the middle of the state. But yeah.
Time for my Jacksonville people to step it up.
Yes, I have actually one really good one up there right now. Absolutely. Would love to see if you're a dentist. Would love it.
Well, I have a dentist appointment here coming up soon. So when I go in there, I'm going to have to mention it.
There you go. And that's really how we do get a lot of our dental partners. It's word of mouth. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, I hate doing this, but we are at time, and oh God, this has been such an amazing episode.
My teeth hurt, Keith.
I'm having flashbacks. Don't get me wrong. So, and I will just say, like, I will just make this quick disclaimer that this is not to say that the VA as a whole is a bad institution or organization or what they do. I love my VA hygienist because I have so much trauma in my mouth. My anxiety, I walk in there, they had to take my blood pressure every time, and it's through the roof. But all that to say, but you know, we all know that there are some systemic challenges that the VA is trying to work through, and what you all are doing is absolutely amazing to help our veterans traverse through those challenges and obstacles. So, all right. So Tammy, before we totally close out, what is the best way for folks to get in contact with you or the organization if they're looking to sign up or donate or whatever it might be?
Perfect. They can go to the website, www.wvrf.org. All the information is on the website.
Awesome. Well, Tammy, it was absolutely amazing having you on here. I was unfamiliar stepping into this podcast on what we were going to be talking about and everything all this entails, and I'm blown away. So I thank you so much for coming on here and all that you're doing for our veterans. It's so amazing.
And we're always looking for volunteers and ambassadors. So if you ever decide you'd like to join, you're more than welcome.
Absolutely. So everybody listen and tune in. Like I said, think about the mouth pain that you don't like either and what these veterans are going through and how it affects their livelihoods, literally affects their lives and livelihoods. So, all right. On behalf of the VET S.O.S family, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us today and listening in and tuning in. Please make sure that you follow and subscribe to us on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms. And remember, don't drown in the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S Lifeline.